Hey guys, it's Lauren here from the Craft Scraps, and I'm taking over Auntie Tay's channel again. Super excited to be here as always. Today I'm super excited because Auntie Tay has just released a bunch of spring SVG files, and they are so cute, and we're going to be working with one of them today. So you can get all of her SVGs for free if you join her membership program. So she used to have her Patreon, so she's transitioning that into her membership model. So basically you either choose to join, I think, like her regular crafter plan or her business plan, and you pay a membership fee per month, and that fee gets you access to all of her SVG files, discounts, early access to things, just super awesome stuff. So if you're interested in joining, please go check that out in the link below. Not only that, but also on her website she has tons of products. She has glitter, she has paint, she has transfer tape, she has vinyl, she has iron-on. Literally, she has, it's like a one-stop shop for all of your crafting needs almost. So click the link below and you can get 10% off if you use my code, all lowercase, the Craft Scraps. And I'd be super grateful if you use my code, but no pressure to use my code. So today we are going to make this super cute palette kind of style sign using this spring SVG from Auntie Tay. And we are also going to be, all my glitter and stuff is over there for some reason, but we're going to be using the new Auntie Tay glitter, which is super beautiful. Just, I mean, look at the shine. And we're going to be using the Creative Sister chalk paint also, which all of this you can get on Auntie Tay's website, 10% off if you use my code. Okay, that's it. So all you're going to need is some stencil film, some paint, and some glitter. And I'm also using a glue adhesive to get the glitter down. So I'm using Mod Podge, but you can use whatever you want. And I think that is it. So let's get started. All right, so to start our sign, we are going to come over here to upload images. So I've just uploaded this floral bundle from Auntie Tay's website. So if you become a member, you get access to tons of these SVG files. So she has two different plans, I believe. There's a business plan and a regular plan, but you get access to tons of these SVG files. Like, I'm obsessed with all these flowers. They're perfect, perfect, perfect for spring. So I've just, and if you need to know how to upload an image, I'll link that below so you can figure out how to download the image from the internet. It's really super easy. So we are going to use this little guy right here. So I'm going to ungroup these, and I'm going to just delete everything that I don't want, even though these are all so beautiful. So I'll just get rid of the ones I don't need, and I'm sure I'll use those in the future. But for now, I'm just going to use this little guy. I think it's so gosh dang cute. So the sign I'm going to be doing is about 8 by 8. So I think, so actually I like to pull out my shapes and actually make an 8 by 8 square so I can see exactly like what my proportions will look like. So I'm just going to move this to the front. So I'm just going to do something really simple. So I think that looks pretty good right there. It's just a simple square palette sign, but I got this really cute little palette thingy from Michael's, so I think this will be really cute on it. So that's the great thing about using ready to go SVGs, is this is basically done and ready to go. So I am going to, alright, so now that I have it the size I want, so I am actually going to be using this to make a stencil. So a couple of things here. If I just leave this how it is, I'm not going to be able to paint in between these lines. So I need it to look kind of like this. So it's going to look more like a stencil, if that makes sense. So to do that, I'm just going to come over here and play with my layers a little bit. So I'm going to hide this pink layer, and I'm also going to hide this blue layer. So now you can see that when we actually go to cut this, there'll be some negative space in here that I can actually paint. Alright, so now I have all my negative space that I need for my stencil, and you can absolutely cut this out of vinyl. I'm just using it to paint with. So now to make sure I can cut all of this out, so if I were to just go to make this right now, all of these would be on different mats because it's telling your machine that this is a pink layer, this is a green layer, this is a purple layer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come over here and hit attach. And so basically what this is doing is it's creating one layer that we can weed from, if that makes any sense at all. I hope it does. So I'm going to come over here now to make it. So now you can see this is going to be our stencil that we're going to use to paint. So now we can hit continue. Can select our device, which is our maker. Alright, so now that it's found our machine, we can choose our settings. I'm going to cut this 831 stencil film on vinyl setting, and we're good to go. So I'll switch over to the camera so you can see how we're going to cut this. Alright, so now we have our stencil film on our mat. So this is just the 813 stencil film. So I got this from Auntie Tay also. So we got that on our mat. We can now load our mat. And we can cut. Alright, so we can unload our mat, move our Cricut out of the way. Alright, so we can take this off of our mat. Alright, so we are going to weed this bad boy. I kind of don't even know where to start. First, I'm just going to trim off some of this excess that we have so we don't waste it. And so since I guess it really doesn't matter which negative space we paint, alright, so we can start weeding this now. So we can, first I'm going to move this heart because I'm going to Mod Podge that heart, and I'm going to try and do some glitter with it. So where do I start with this? So I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to weed out this negative space. So I'm just going to start weeding out these lines that are solid. I might be able to do it the other way, like if I just like grabbed this piece and weeded it, but I don't know what that's going to end up looking like, so I'm just going to do this for now. This design is super intricate, but I saw it and I was like, I must do something with this. And this is actually kind of satisfying because this is really easy to weed. It looks like a lot of work, but I'm just pulling these lines up one by one, so it's pretty nice. All right, so we got our leaves done. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing, I think, with these flower petals. And just hope for the best, you know? The only thing with designs like these is I end up getting just like, I'm gonna be finding stencil remnants for like days after this. Oh my God, I feel like there we go. All right, so now I can, I need a, like a lint roller. I could like put all this vinyl on. I don't know if I was supposed to weed that, but that's all right. Well, when I Mod Podge this after, when I Mod Podge this, I'm just gonna have to be careful around those edges. That's all right. So I think what I'll do is yeah, so I'm not sure if there's supposed to be an edge here, but we'll make it work. So I thought that was going to be way more of a pain to weed, but it actually was not that bad. I just have vinyl all over my hands now. All right, so now that we have our stencil weeded, I'm going to put some transfer tape on it. This is literally is this like blurry? I think that's better. This is literally the coolest thing ever. It's basically masking transfer tape that Auntie Tay sent me, and it's in this gigantic roll. It doesn't have a carrier sheet, so you don't have to worry about that. You just throw it on, like roll off what you need, and you put it on your thing that you're transferring. How freaking cool is that? And it lifts how it lifts. I don't know if it's just the stencil film or the tape or what, but it is like butter to lift. All right, so this is the sign we are going to be making. Make sure you guys can see. All right, so we are just gonna put this here. So we have a couple different elements here. So we have to be careful of our palette cut lines. This wood is not super duper duper smooth, so it's gonna have a rustic look. And so let's just start peeling this and see how this all works out. All right, so I also cut out this, where did it go? All right, so I'm gonna make sure the heart is right there. It's pretty centered. So now I'm just gonna scrape this down. And so now I'm just gonna peel my stencil gently. And actually, I think I'm gonna, so this I'm kind of like pressing as I'm peeling just to try and limit the stencil from lifting as much as possible, since there's a lot of different things happening. So I'm just pressing and like rolling the vinyl or the tape. So just go over this one last time. All right. So I think first I'm going to do the glitter. I think I'm gonna do the glitter first, because then I can go back and do the paint while it's drying. I think, okay, yeah, I think that's a good plan. So, whoa. So the heart, I think I'm gonna do in this Anti-Tay Gleam and Glow gold glitter, and then maybe I'll do the stem in this like pixie dust green. We'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna use this brush, I think. Well, actually, my stencil brushes are all dirty right now. That was really stupid of me to not clean them, but I think all right, so even though my stencil brush is a little dirty, that's all right. I'm just going to use it to get some Mod. So this is just Mod Podge. And basically this is gonna act as our like adhesive glue, so we can get some glitter on here. So I'm just brushing this on kind of lightly. I don't want to go too crazy with it because I don't want it to be super duper wet when I put the glitter on. So now for this, and I don't have like a method to this. I just feel like this is kind of what has worked for me. So I'm just gonna make sure my Mod Podge is on here. Then I'm just gonna take a brush and I'm just gonna dip it in the glitter and kind of like dab it onto where I just put that Mod Podge. And then once we're done painting, we can lift up our stencil and we will have a glitter heart, hopefully. So I'm just kind of going over it. I'm not going too crazy because I've learned that if you do the Mod Podge too thick, it makes it look really weird. So, all right, so we have our gold heart up here. And so now I'm gonna come down and do the same thing with the stem. So I'm just kind of lightly putting the Mod Podge on. And now I'll do the same thing I just did with the gold with this green. Oh my God, it's so pretty. All right, so I'm just dipping it in the green and just kind of dabbing it. Okay, so we have our glitter done. So I'm going to kind of, I have a paper towel right here, and I'm just gonna kind of like get some of that excess off a little bit. So now what we're gonna do is now we can paint. So I'm gonna close all these so I don't get, I could just see myself spilling one of these and oh my God, Joe would be so mad. Okay, so now we're gonna go over this and paint. So I think I'm going to use this Creative Sister, can you guys see that? Creative Sister persimmon color. I'm gonna do that in this these top petals, and then I'll come down here and mess around with some other colors for the leaves. So I'm using a really light layer, and I'm just gonna kind of dab, brush, motion here. And just be careful when if you're using something that's like paletted like this, just make sure you're being careful when you, because like up here, the stencil is going to be a little bit lifted because it's, you know, lifting because it's going to a new piece of wood or palette or whatever. So just being careful. And then you can always go back and touch up. Once you peel off your stencil, if you have a smaller brush, you can go back and touch up. Like right here, I can see I'm gonna have to touch that up with a smaller brush because all my brushes are dirty right now. So that's why I'm using this foam brush. And if you guys use a foam brush for this, just be careful because like it has like these little holes in it, you know, because it's a sponge brush, like no duh, Lauren. But just be careful because if you have a stencil that has a lot of sharp corners, you don't want the brush to pull up your stencil. Okay, so I'm gonna let that kind of hang out for a little bit. So now I'm gonna come back with these two colors. Again, this is the spring color by the Creative Sister. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do one of these, I'm gonna do this color here. Okay, and so now for the other leaf, I'm gonna do this color, and I'm not washing my brush or anything. I'm just gonna, these two colors mix, I think it looks kind of pretty, so. All right, so we have some of our leaves done. I am gonna go back with this little brush here. It's not clean really, but I'm just gonna touch up. I just want it to, I want the petals to touch the heart. So I'm just gonna kind of go back and touch some of these up a little bit. All right, and so I'm just gonna go over these one more time. I just want my paint to be wet when I peel, because then you don't run the risk of peeling off your paint. Whoa, that was way too much. So I'm just going over these one more time. And this paint is gonna dry. It's gonna give it that like chalky finish, so it'll be really pretty. Okay, you guys, this is a moment of truth. Let's see what happens here. I'm a little scared. That looks so... First of all, I think that looks really cool. And then, oh, just put that face down on my table. There's gonna be paint everywhere. Look how pretty that looks. So cute. All right, so I'm gonna touch this piece up right here a little bit. So, what do I need? I need Mod Podge. So I'm just going to, and this is the nice thing about working with glitter and paint, is if you like screw up your paint at all, you could just go back and hide it with more glitter. So I'm just gonna put some Mod Podge right here. Go back with this gold. And I'm just gonna put a little glitter on that just so it'll hide that little bleed. Put my paper towel there. Oh my god, that looks so cute. I am obsessed with it. All right, you guys, so how cute is this sign? I love it. It turned out so good. I was a little nervous just with like, it's very intricate, the glitter, the paint. I haven't really done too many of these paletted signs, but I think it turned out super cute. So don't forget, couple of things, Auntie Tay's new membership program. I joined the business plan, so I think that's like $13 a month. And also if you want to use my code to get 10% off your whole order at shopantietay.com, you can get paint, stencil film, transfer tape, everything I used in this video with the exception of this sign, this wood, and the Mod Podge. Everything I got from anyrthing.com. So it has truly become a one-stop shop. So I hope you guys enjoyed my takeover. If you did, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Auntie Tay. And also go check my channel out too. It's the Craft Scraps, and I have a bunch of fun stuff there like this. So I think that's it. So until next time, happy crafting.